here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Yeah, it definitely continues to be a madhouse. But don't forget, we're all in this together. Unless, of course, you say or tweet or text one word that we don't like, one phrase that offends us. To stay with the mob. We're so together. We're so tolerant. We're exclusive. We'll just go ahead and take your job, any future jobs, your money, a form that once allowed you to speak. We just in the street or shoot you in the head. If we don't. Other than that, we're completely together on this.
I mean, everything's got a few stipulations.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We can't just be together. I mean, there's certain relations. But we're how together the Democrats are with the and had a beautiful, African scarf around their necks. All of them matching African scarves. They
took a moment.
They took a knee. Yeah. In fact, several moments. Here's what it's so beautiful. Pelosi and the gang taking a knee.
At the Capitol yesterday. Is that it?
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. Look at that.
Cut number 2 by all the...
Jerry, you can see.
Look at that.
He knows better than to try to kneel. Because he knows he's not going to be able to get back up.
Fat douche.
Yeah, that was their...
Look at him.
Yesterday.
He looks just a teeny bit out of place, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's
great. See, Nancy Pelosi didn't learn that trick to just, solemnly stand there.
Mm-hmm.
She actually had a very difficult time up once the show was over. Oh, hello, help. No.
Had to help up old Nancy.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
So they were able to...
Well, they knelt for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. So, what is she, 77, 78?
I think 104.
83.
104.
106.
Oh, my goodness. Could you stop with the pandering?
And the hypocrisy. I mean, just mindless, flaming hypocrites.
Yeah, I love the tweet or the meme that somebody sent me about... this is the same group of people that just last week berated Trump for standing there with a Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go.
Yeah, which Nancy has also done.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently, she had her own Bible moment. Here she is with her Bible moment. Nancy Pelosi, Bible moment, number 4.
He's trying to load it. Poor Rob. There's been a lot of technical issues in every corner of the building this morning.
Yeah, the normal cameras don't work. That camera in there doesn't work.
Videos don't load.
Videos are not loading. Okay, good.
But anyway, it's clip 4 when we get to Nancy Pelosi's Bible moment. Yeah.
But the hypocrisy is just too much to take. Black Lives Matter, but only black lives that were taken away by white cops.
Huh.
Because have you heard anybody lamenting that so far this year there have been at least 245 homicides in Chicago?
Wow.
And at least 169 of them were black. 16 million black babies also don't matter to them. In fact, they encourage the killing of black babies. In New York City, more abortions take place with blacks than live births. Why is it that we never hear about those black lives mattering?
No, not at all.
Why?
In fact, Chicago last week had its deadliest day since 1960.
18 people were murdered a week ago Sunday, May 31st. Deadliest day in the history of the city. They've only taken records on that since 1961. So maybe prior to 1961, there were more than 18 dead in a day. I doubt it. 18 people. Sounds like a Jeffy thing, but it's not. 18 people murdered in one day.
Right. And so far, in the year 2020, 23 unarmed individuals in America have been shot by police. Now, some of those may have been struggles for the officer's weapon or something like that, But of those 23, 10 of those unarmed individuals were white. 6 were black. And there's 3 Hispanic. And then there's some other
Asians others
unknown.
Pacific Islanders.
There's some unknowns in there.
Yeah. But I noticed that in Chicago, too. There are a lot of unknowns. How do you not know? Strange. But in the entire weekend, May 29th through May 31st, 24 people were killed in Chicago for the weekend and 85 more wounded. I mean, the next highest murder total for a single day in Chicago was August 4th, 1991. 13 people were killed. Max Kapustin, senior research director at the crime lab, said, "We've never seen anything like it at all. I don't even know how to put it into context. It's beyond anything we've ever seen before." Well, yeah, those are like war numbers. Those are like war zone numbers. That's like Beirut or Kabul or Baghdad. So don't tell me that you're all of a sudden concerned with black lives, because you're not. You're only concerned with your agenda. And the fundamental transformation of the United States of America and getting rid of Donald Trump. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Yep. Here's Pelosi with her hypocrite moment. This was right after the Trump Bible situation.
I don't hear anything. Is there any audio with this? Because we're not hearing it.
Why would we?
We're not hearing anything.
Okay.
So you can.
I know.
You can pull it.
So she goes to Ecclesiastes or something, right? Doesn't she have?
Yep.
I mean,
she quotes the Bible, and yeah, it's a good time.
So are all of the videos not available, or do we know?
I'm not sure.
Rob, can you just tell us, are the videos unavailable so I don't keep calling for them and they're not there?
Last night when I saw the president hold up the Bible, I was thinking of so many things in the Bible that would have been appropriate in terms of the humanity of all people in our country. And I was thinking about time. You know, time is such the most important commodity. The most important commodity, the most finite of all commodities. The time it takes to make the change necessary. And it's long overdue time for us to make some of that change that people were calling out for. And I was thinking of the book of Ecclesiastes.
Oh, she was thinking about
and
the
in
word.
It they talk about there's an appointed time for everything.
The word.
Ecclesiastes says in 3:1-8. The time for every event under heaven. He talks about a time to heal. Talks about a time to embrace and a time to shun embracing. How about that?
How about that?
A time for peace.
Right.
Let's focus on a time to heal. A time to heal. But we would hope that the President of the United States would follow the lead of so many other presidents before him to be a healer in chief and not a fanner of the flame.
Oh my God!
Yesterday we
Again,
saw
what a
most
hypocrite.
Unfortunate situation.
Fanner of the flame.
Curfew,
Don't be that.
The time of the curfew occurred. Peaceful demonstrators in front of protesters in front of the White House were beaten. Some people came out and beat them so they could clear the area.
Show me that. That's a lie.
So the president could
That's
come
an
out
absolute
and go
lie.
forward. What is that? That has no place.
They were beaten. I want to see that. I don't believe
to do away
that.
with that. A time to heal. The book of Ecclesiastes.
There we got it.
Thank you all very much.
Oh, wow. That's unbelievable.
Now, that got no play whatsoever.
No.
Right on the heels of what everyone was saying was Trump's big photo op with a Bible in front of St. John's Church. Mm-hmm. Nancy Pelosi comes out there, reads Scripture, and not even a peep. Oh, man.
Was it Scripture or was it a Byrds song from 1967?
That's why it sounded familiar. Yeah. The Bible ripped off the Byrds.
Right. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. Yeah, that's the Byrds, man. I don't know what she's talking about. Ecclesiastes. She's such a hypocrite.
I know.
So ridiculous.
They ask me all the time, what is your favorite this? What is your favorite that? What's your favorite that? And at one time, what is your favorite word? And I said, my favorite word, that is really easy.
Ecclesiastes.
My favorite
really
word
is the word.
The word.
Yeah, come on.
The word.
Is the word.
Is the word.
And that is everything.
It's
it
the
says
word.
it all for us.
Yeah.
And you know the biblical reference. You know the gospel reference of the word.
Of the word.
But do you know the words?
That
word.
is.
I mean, it's it's such amazing hypocrisy because it's so transparent, and then she acts like she's Mother Superior, and then when it suits her, then she's on attack. If any Republican were to turn to the scriptures and cite scriptures, can you imagine if anybody cited scriptures about homosexuality or about abortion or about anything with which they disagree? There would just be you'd be drummed out of office. You'd probably have to resign. That's how together we are right now. We're really together. We're all in this together. So that's really great. Pathead Mike sent this meme to us.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
If the USA saw what the USA is doing in the USA would invade the USA to save USA from the tyranny of the USA.
I like it. Good stuff.
And that's about right. That's about right. Then we had some protesters holding some interesting signs, kind of fun, from real Tyler Morgan.
In his town, Missouri, yeah.
In Missouri, they're holding signs that say, "Are we still doing COVID?"
I love this.
Bring back McRib.
Bring back the McRib.
And
Nickelback needs to make another album.
Is that real, or did somebody Photoshop
no, they did
those?
that. Yeah.
That's actual?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Those are good old boys there in whatever town
That's really
Tyler
funny.
lives in.
Are we still doing COVID? And bring back McRib.
What's that? Oh, Epstein didn't kill himself. I see that one on the left there. So good.
The Nickelback thing is funny too.
Yeah.
Those are great. Just to take the edge off of the nightmare that is.
Off of the year 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Not even half over.
No, I think what we've learned is it's not the year. It's got nothing to do with the year. The years just roll around and society continues to go down the drain.
So you're saying 2021 destined to be even worse than this?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, goody.
As far as insanity, do you see us pulling out of this? I mean, I hope we do. I want us to.
I mean, look. I've thought about this election season coming up here in November. So if the Democrats win, because I'm not saying Biden, if the Democrats win, I mean, oh boy, will that be a fun ride. If Trump wins, what are the streets going to look like then?
We'll see.
There's no way out. This is, Anyway, happy Tuesday.
Just gets more fun from here. Yeah. Let me take a minute and tell you about Patriot Mobile. While Democrats and their media allies keep making it harder for Americans to get out of this economic nightmare, Patriot Mobile has tried to help by lowering their prices even more. Right now, their U.S.-based team is standing by to design a customized family plan for you starting at just $25. Patriot Mobile shares your values. They'll never charge you hidden fees. And unlike Big Mobile, they're not going to send your hard-earned dollars to Planned Parenthood or other left-wing causes. Get the same reliable nationwide service and support a company that shares your values, supports our Constitution, and puts people before profit. It's really easy to switch too. You can keep your phone number if you want to. You can keep your phone, or you can get new ones of both. Right now, when you join their family of freedom-loving Americans, you'll get free activation and a free gift just by using the offer code PAT. So call 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT, or patriotmobile.com/PAT. Get your customized family plan today. It starts as low as $25 a month. patriotmobile.com/PAT.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Hey, Biden has said no to disbanding the police. What a racist. How's he going to survive this?
How's he going to remember what he just said?
Yeah, he probably won't even.
Could change his tune tomorrow.
They've announced, though, their position of defunding the police departments in the wake of all the demonstrations, advocating for reform measures and additional funding instead. As criminal justice proposals made clear months ago, Vice President Biden does not believe that police should be defunded. How about that? Biden supports the urgent need for reform, including funding for public schools, summer programs, mental health and substance abuse treatment, separate from funding for policing, so that officers can focus on the job of policing. This also means funding community policy programs to improve relationships between officers and residents. If they could just, I don't know, play more basketball with the kids or a little soccer in the park with them, then everything would be fine.
That'd be good. That'd be good. And we also learned, someone posted for us, defund the police doesn't mean defund the police. Right?
Well, what does it mean?
It means you're still going to fund the police. Yeah. So that's that's what it means. Yeah.
How is that possible?
Well, look, it's posted right there. I mean, for you to see, defund the police means police will be funded. I mean, it's pretty obvious that that's what defund the police means. Police will be funded.
I mean, come on.
2020, stop it. Please, you win.
Police will not be overfunded. Redistribute the city budget, and everyone gets a fair share.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
interesting.
Seriously, we have fifth graders posting policy.
It's Common Core math. It means the opposite of what you think it means. So defund the police means to fund the police.
Okay, but when I was a kid, that was called opposite day.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. It's still called opposite day, and that's what we're living every stinking day.
So it's opposite year?
Yeah, it's opposite life. It's
opposite reality?
Century.
Dimension? I tell you, man.
I mean, they're going full speed ahead with this in Minneapolis, and I don't know what they're going to do. They don't have an alternative. They just keep saying, well, look at Newark, New Jersey. Well, Newark, New Jersey has police officers. What do you mean, look at them? What are they doing differently? What are you gonna do without a police department?
And even the city councilwoman up there in Minneapolis, when she was on CNN yesterday,
president of the city council,
she's pushing this, and her answer was so.
Listen to this. This is just such garbage.
Do you understand that the word dismantle or police free also makes some people nervous? For instance, what if in the middle of the night my home is broken into? Who do I call?
Ghostbusters?
Yes, I mean, I hear that loud and clear from a lot of my neighbors.
Okay.
And I know, and myself too, and I know that comes from a place of privilege, because for those of us for whom the system is working, I think we need to step back and imagine what it would feel like to already live in that reality, where calling the police may mean more harm is done.
Oh, no.
Oh, I see. Okay, so calling the police makes the situation worse. There have been instances of that. Yeah, where the police have made mistakes or you've gotten a bad cop and the situation has gotten worse. In the vast, vast majority of cases, the opposite is true.
What did she say? It's that's our privilege or something?
Yeah, it's our privilege. I guess it's our privilege to think we can call 911 and have somebody come help us. What? That's our privilege?
So me paying my taxes to the local municipality is the city's privilege there?
It allows you your privilege, I guess, to have police come.
Okay.
But everybody has that privilege, by the way, no matter how much you pay in taxes. And when you call 911, somebody's going to get there. It might take them a little bit longer in some areas than others, but they're going to come. Now, what do you mean it's a matter of privilege? That just doesn't even make sense.
No.
They're not even making sense. They're just throwing out these terms, these woke terms that they think are going to placate the rabid mobs that are coming for them.
You know the city councilwoman does not want you owning your own firearms and protect yourself.
Oh, of course not. No.
So, I mean, I think you're just supposed to open the door and let them in.
You're supposed to just be killed by home intruders. Don't worry about it. Just let them rape and pillage, take your stuff, shoot you in the head, Because it's a white privilege if a police officer were to come and help you.
Now, too bad that this lady didn't just have that. We know what 911 is going to sound like in Minneapolis now. Under a society with no police force.
Do we?
Yeah, so here's what it will sound like in the very near future in Minneapolis.
Thank you for calling 911. Due to the defunding as a result of the marches against police brutality, there are no officers available to respond to your emergency. At the end of this message, please describe in detail why you are calling, and a member of our team will return your call within 4 to 5 business days. Our services now include social workers, therapists, and mediators. For example, if somebody is robbing your house, we will send out a mediator in 4 to 5 days to kindly ask them to stop. If this is a life-threatening emergency, please hang up and ask your higher being to help you.
There you are, man.
And ask who to help you?
Your higher being.
Oh, your higher being. Oh, what if you don't have a higher being?
Well, then...
What if you're an atheist and there are no higher beings?
And you're not armed?
No.
And there's no police?
Exactly. So then what? You're just dead, right? You don't get the problem can't get resolved. So sorry. You're just going to get shot in the head.
Well, the mediator's going to arrive in 4 to 5 days, business days, mind you.
So great. That's really...
Social worker will be there to help out.
Well, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about replacing the police with social workers and
funeral directors, right?
Yes.
Apparently.
Yes, in large part, it would be funeral. A lot of funeral directors would have abundant work, and they're going to be wealthier than they have been.
What a nightmare.
I can't even believe how this thing has escalated to this point where we want justice for George. Okay, I'm with you on that. I want justice for George, too. Well, George is getting justice because his attackers, his killers, have been charged. One was charged with second-degree murder. The other 3 with being accomplices and negligence. So what you wanted in the beginning is being done.
Derek Chauvin was in court yesterday.
His first public appearance in court. Yep. So then it's not justice for George. Then it's that's not good enough. Now we want to defund the police. Wow. Okay. Well, that seems counterproductive. But I mean, maybe there's some waste in the. No, we're not even talking about that anymore. Now we want to dismantle the police. Okay. Now you want to dismantle police units. Okay. Then who shows up when you're in trouble? Anybody? No one? You could defend yourself if you have a gun, but you people don't love guns. You don't like guns. You hate guns. You're scared of them, and you don't think people should have them.
And again, this is the same crowd that whenever we have a shooting or someone, shoots up a school or something like that, they say you should just let the police have the weapons. We don't need them in everyone's hands. And now
how that has changed, boy. Wow.
Can't keep up, man.
No, that's completely that is out the window now. Letting police take care of it, that's the worst thing you can do now. They just show up and make the situation worse.
Boy, at least we have sports to distract us, though. That's good. I mean, what would our society be like without the distraction that is professional sports?
I think now you put your finger on exactly what the problem is. There are no sports to distract us.
You see that yesterday? The owners came up with another proposal for the players in baseball. And the players were like, well, this is worse than the last one. You know what, guys? We don't care anymore. Bye. We're done with baseball. You guys can't figure this out?
Yeah, I seriously don't. They've pissed me off to the point where I don't care if there's a season or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said 60 games, right?
The latest one was 76.
Oh, okay.
And then an expanded postseason.
Huh.
And the pay structure was not to the liking of the players, who, again, said it was worse than the one before. So whatever. And, of course, we all know that the impending Kneel Fest is about to happen in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Before that, the NBA.
Yeah,
NBA starts July 31st. What a nightmare that's going to be.
That's going to be rough.
Oh, man.
Hockey, you're up.
I wonder if maybe they won't even have a national anthem. I mean, because if you're just going to have the national anthem be a protest device, who needs that? Right. How does that help anybody? It doesn't. That's not honoring the country. If you're just protesting the country, well, it's not about the flag. Yeah, why don't you talk to your guy who invented this and find out if it's about the flag or not.
So now that the NFL has, and by the way, did you see how that happened? Goodell was kind of forced into that whole, I don't know what you want to call it, mea culpa, by some rogue employee that works in their social media division, and he reached out to, I think it was Michael Thomas. I think it was, yeah.
On the Saints?
Yeah, and basically Michael Thomas got a bunch of players with this guy's idea to get together and make this video that pressured Roger Goodell to make his own video. So anyhow, it's kind of interesting how that happened. But this is going to be very interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. And now the big thing is, all right, so who's going to sign Colin Kaepernick?
He will be signed.
He will be signed.
He will be signed.
Yes.
Despite the fact that he, I don't know, sucks as a quarterback. He had one decent season as a quarterback. Plus, he's had multiple opportunities. He's been offered $10 million a year to be a backup. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough for him. He said no. He turned it down flat. Why? Because he's making more money now with Nike. I mean, he basically controls Nike. Nike was going to do that tennis shoe with the flag on it, and he complained, and so they dropped it. No, okay, yeah, all right, you're right. You're right, Colin. Okay, you tell us what to do. What can we put out as product now? Help us. Help us. Is there a shoe that can be tailor fitted to somebody who's kneeling a lot?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Yeah, can we make your kneeling more comfortable? What if we just start selling knee pads? What if we did that? Like Nike knee pads. That's a good idea, isn't it, Colin?
Wow.
Is it Colin?
What would you call that kneeling shoe? Like the air kneeler? Or what would you? I'm looking to see. There's got to be a betting line.
The Kaepernick floor.
The Kaepernick floor model. There's got to be something. Maybe Stu can point me in the right direction where you can bet on which team will sign Colin Kaepernick. I'm not seeing this at the old standby website. But
somebody will before this season starts. If he'll accept the money, which I don't know. I don't think he really wants to play. Fact is, I don't believe he really wants to play because he's had multiple opportunities with teams that have some questionable starters. And he could have moved into the situation, into a starting position when somebody was injured or had a bad game. And he's not been interested. So it'll be interesting to see how many teams, all 32 teams will probably be groveling at his doorstep, begging him to come be their backup.
So I went to this website to see if there was hey, who's going to sign Colin Kaepernick? Put your money down. I didn't see that, but I see where you can bet on Madden games now. Yeah, Madden games.
That's all we got.
Must be a tournament going on, and you can bet on who's going to win the video game.
Jeez.
Oh, what a year.
Did you see the CrossFit founder tweeted something that people didn't like, and now CrossFit has been dropped by Reebok and gyms across the country. And
that was a strange tweet, too.
Basically, yeah, it was he said, Greg Glassman is the CEO of CrossFit, and he tweeted out, in response to a tweet about racism being a public health issue, he said, yeah, it's Floyd-19.
Yeah, he was the first victim to die of Floyd-19.
Yeah, I mean, not smart.
Oof.
In fact, it's a stupid tweet, especially now. Way too, it's never going to be time to joke about this. So it was definitely callous. But to destroy CrossFit over it, does he deserve that? Doesn't matter whether it's deserved or not. This is what happens now in this new reality. This is our new normal. If you say anything that goes against the mob sensibilities, you're done. Your company's done. Your future is done. Don't even apply for a job because you're not going to get one. It's really, really something else. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. You know what we're getting close to is Soylent Green. It's about time we're going to start. And keep in mind, Soylent Green is, well, it's people.
Soylent Green is made out of people. Soylent Green is people!
But, you got to grind the old people into something to eat because all our food supply is gone. At least that hasn't happened yet. Well, wait. We got locusts eating up the food supply all over the Middle East, Eastern Europe, and Asia. So
crap, maybe.
Yeah, dang it.
Maybe that's why those governors were moving all the COVID patients into nursing homes. It all makes sense now. Thank you for that.
Doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got some tweets here. Quiet guy in the back tweets, maybe defund the police is funded by big funeral directors. Maybe. Mayor Lumberjack, we know for a fact Pelosi wasn't holding a Bible because it didn't spontaneously combust in her hand.
Yes, you got
Are you implying that Nancy Pelosi is some sort of evil? And that because she is and she's holding something sacred, it would burst into flame?
Check her hands for burns. Exactly.
Huh. Also from Reverend Chipotle. So college kids couldn't dress up for Cinco de Mayo with sombreros, but Democrats get away with this? Check out the photo
Look
of
at this.
The masks.
You're talking about cultural appropriation.
Yep. Cultural appropriation right there. right there.
Or somebody says that's the worst rap album ever.
Crazy.
Look at them. They look like they're on the cover of like a rap album.
Yeah, they do. Now, why is that okay? Actually, one woman didn't appreciate the Democrats' choice of clothing yesterday.
Hi, friends.
Hi.
I'm usually either too busy or too lazy to make this kind of quick video response. But today something happened and I thought it's actually important enough that I get in front of my camera and make a short video to explain something short enough for me to post on Twitter. I was just looking online today, like most of you, and what did I see? A bunch of Democrat politicians kneeling down, of which I have nothing to say about that because I am not an American. However, they were all having around their necks this colorful fabric, which I'm sure they put around their necks as some kind of mark or show of unity or solidarity with black people. So in other words, they are putting forward the kente material or this colorful fabric they had around their necks as some kind of placating sign or symbol to show that they are not racist and they are together with black people. Great. Excuse me, dear Democrats, in your tokenism, you didn't wait to find out that this thing that you're hanging around your neck is not just some African uniform. It's actually the kente material. The kente belongs to the Ghanaian people, mainly the Ashanti tribe. Excuse me, Democrats, don't treat Africans like we're children. These fabrics and these, colorful things that we have within our culture and tradition, they all mean something to us. I know you look at us and you say, oh, Africans, you're so cute in all your colorful dresses. Well, some of those dresses and patterns and colors and fabrics actually do mean something to us. Some of them belong to ancient tribes and mean something to them. So why are you using it as your own show of non-racism or your own show of virtue? Why are you using the kente material to signal your virtue? Stop it. We are not children. Africans are not children, and leave our tradition and our culture to us. And if you don't know much about it, ask somebody. I'm sure there would have been something else you could have done to show your solidarity with black people, instead of taking the kente material and making a little show of it.
Nice.
Love it.
That's great because, had they been Republicans, they would have been berated by everybody in this country. Everybody for cultural appropriation.
Oh, that would have led the news cycle for a month.
Fortunately, we had an honest broker who called them out on it. Good. I mean, if that's going to be a thing, if cultural appropriation is a thing, it's got to be a thing for them too, right? And so when they do stupid things like this, they need to be called on the carpet for it. Now, I don't think cultural appropriation should be a thing because it's not hurting anybody, right? If you dress up on Halloween in a sombrero or a cowboy hat or whatever, you're not appropriating any. That doesn't mean that you're doing something negative to them, does it? I mean, if I wear a clown outfit, am I mocking clowns? Oh, wow.
What?
Okay, I take back everything I just said.
What?
No, the sombrero should not be worn. At least not by you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cover up the bald.
Doesn't work. Actually, it kind of doesn't. Kind of doesn't cover up the bald.
I tried, man.
It's a good-looking sombrero, though. Where did that come from?
It's part of my collection. My hat collection.
All right. Okay.
I mean, it's tough to put the headphones on when you're wearing the sombrero.
Yeah.
And that's really the only reason why I don't. Well, that and
it doesn't fit.
Balance it on my.
Yeah, a couple of things there.
Did very well.
A couple of black women have a message for the whiteys who've been taking a knee as well. Here's what she has to say.
If you're a Christian and you're white and you accept that kind of demonic behavior, you need to repent. It's against the sacrifice that Jesus paid on the cross. It's demonic and it has to stop. It hurts my heart to see this. Yes. It's ungodly. It's idolatry. Stop it. Repent. If you've done that, if you've apologized for the color that the Lord has made you, and by God, if you've ever kneeled down in front of the black man or any man, and lift their foot, repent. It's demonic. Crazy? Listen. I don't want to keep you up for too long because we want to eat and we got to get back on the road. We're driving to New Jersey.
Okay.
But I hope you hear what I say.
I'm hearing it.
For those who don't receive what I said, you on your own. I'm not arguing with you. I'm going to let my goons get you. That's why I don't respond on comments, because my goons going to get you. I don't even need to do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for y'all to stop, because we're really headed towards the end times. And the last thing we need is our own soldiers in the army of God to be deceived. It's time to wake up.
That's good stuff.
Yo, they're burning our country to the ground. They're trying to take us out. America is going to be gone as we know it. The greatest country in the world. The best country on the planet. Ain't no country better than us. Ain't no country flyer than us. Ain't no country smarter than us. Ain't no country more lit than us. We set the we thermostats. We set the temperature. We the greatest country on the planet. There is no country better. That's why every other country wants to come to America, because we the best. Period.
That's great. Yeah, it's true. That's true. That's an interesting take on that.
Ain't no country more lit than us.
Well, that too. But the original point that kneeling is demonic, and because there's a state trooper in Georgia who's also saying that I only kneel before God, which is a great point. I mean, that's here he is talking to the group because they're all insisting that he take a knee, and here's what he tells the mob.
Have any respect. I I'm supposed to be out of town this weekend with my wife. I took off today, this weekend, but I'm out here to make sure y'all safe. So don't go there with respect, okay? Thank you. I have much respect, but I only kneel for one person. And that's God. God,
But what about if you?
Good.
Wow. What about? Oh, shut up.
That's great. Nope. What about nothing?
He has spoken.
Because I just told you, I only kneel before one person, and that's God. That's good. That's a powerful statement. I like that a lot. It's a good point.
Yeah, there are some people out there that are refusing to bow to the mob.
Yeah, we had that instant last week where a whole bunch of police were standing in front of a whole bunch of protesters, and they took a knee, and it kind of diffused the situation. But should they have? I don't know. In retrospect, I don't know about that.
No, yeah. How about the National Guard?
I thought it was kind of cool at the
troops?
time because it worked and it was peaceful. But now looking back, I don't know.
No. The National Guard troops do that in
Right.
California?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's happening all over the place.
Stop.
You know what else is happening is a lot of people losing their hair. Keith was just talking about how the sombrero covered up his baldness, which it really didn't.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's kind of sad.
I'm running out of hats, I got to dip into the collection here. Let's see if I can find something else.
Now, we all realize it's too late for Keith, but it may not be too late for you. If you've got male pattern baldness beginning and it runs in your family and you just want to put a stop to it, there is a way you could do that. It's called Keeps. Keeps. Great company. They offer the generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products that are the real deal, and they save you a whole bunch of money because they're generic. So all you have to do is go online, answer a few questions, snap a couple of pictures of your hair, send it in, And then a doctor will evaluate everything and recommend the right FDA-approved hair loss treatment for you. Then it'll be shipped discreetly to your door. Keeps lets you keep your hair without leaving your couch, and it works. It stops hair loss in about 90% of cases. In 67% of the cases, hair regrowth actually occurs. So it's worth it. Give it a try. Go to keeps.com/Pat. That's Keeps, Keeps, keeps.com/Pat. Go there now.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Oh, yet another thing that we heard in the beginning was horrific, and asymptomatic people are spreading this disease all over the place, far and wide. As far as the eye can see, they're making people sick. They're killing people everywhere.
Yeah, you don't know if you're making your neighbor sick by walking around with no symptoms at all, even.
Yeah, now they say that the asymptomatic are not spreading the disease.
Oh.
I mean, what do they know for sure about this thing?
Honestly,
nothing.
Is there anything
Nothing.
they haven't changed
I don't
their
think
tune
so.
on?
I don't think
What
so.
are we left with? I mean, that is everything.
Did you see the hydroxychloroquine study was completely discounted and thrown out? The one that said, yeah, it's likely to kill you. It's going to kill you dead. About 36% of the patients are just dying. And it was completely flawed. It was a crappy study. It's been withdrawn by the people who did it. I mean, no, there's nothing that they haven't changed their mind on. Is there? Is there one thing? It's really amazing. 888-900-3393. Might be time to book your flight to another planet.
Okay.
There's still time. There's still a little time to get out of here. Elon Musk is sticking to his timeline for going to Mars. Did you see that? You read about that? You see that in the paper, Kevin? You read about that in the paper today?
That's crazy, Jay. Going to Mars.
It is, Kevin. Where's your baseline? How come you didn't... So he's gonna launch. He's gonna launch by 2022. He says he's still launching in 2 years. Now that's the unmanned flight.
Oh,
but the manned flight.
Yeah.
2024.
How many men?
I don't know.
Like, is this like a Bob and Doug? Which, by the way, they're not coming back. You know this, right? They realize what's going on down here.
I think there's a pretty good chance that you're not coming back. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think you'd have to realize that, wouldn't you? But you just
You're talking
want
about the Mars thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But do you think Bob and Doug are going to come back to this?
No. Okay. No, they're not.
So, yeah, this Mars thing. How long is it going to take to get there?
I think it's about a 6-month flight. So it takes a while to get there. Takes a while to get back. I think it takes longer. It takes longer one way, maybe coming back, than it does going there.
What, like the jet stream?
Yes. It's the jet stream.
Why does it take longer?
Because of the orbits.
Oh.
It's further away.
6 months? That's a lot of games of solitaire on the plane.
Really is. Yeah. Well, you might have something to do while you're on the flight. I don't know. There might be some maintenance to do to keep you busy a little bit.
PlayStation, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. So SpaceX wants to build a city on Mars.
Oh, yes!
And so on Friday, Elon Musk confirmed on Twitter he's still aiming to launch the first ships to Mars by 2022. These ships will be cargo ships, so they're designed to support a future manned mission. So they're going to contain all the stuff that when the men get there, or men and women, when mankind gets there, they'll be able to assemble all this stuff that the cargo ships sent and start their Mars city. This is incredible. We haven't even been back to the moon yet. We barely got to the space station. And now in 4 years, we're going to go to Mars? That's ambitious. And I hope he can pull it off. But that seems a little too soon to me.
Not soon enough for me. Let's go. Why do we have to wait 4 years?
He said the 2022 timeframe is not a typo, although it is aspirational. But now he's sticking to that aspiration. He sees this as a race against time. Twitter user P. Pathole wrote that, that's not me,
No.
that within another 500 million years, the oceans will evaporate as the sun expands, meaning humanity has a short window to expand out and resettle. Musk responded to this. That's when all life on Earth will be boiled off. What matters is how long civilization is capable of making the jump to Mars. This could be a very short period of time measured in decades. It took 4.5 billion years to get to this point, and civilization isn't looking super stable. Musk is interesting because he really is an entrepreneur. He really is a capitalist.
Mm-hmm.
And but he really does believe in climate change, killing this planet.
Really?
Yeah.
I wish you hadn't told me that.
Yeah.
By the way,
it's part of why he's doing this, because he thinks we're going to need to colonize a different planet.
All right. Well,
this one's not going to make it.
I don't care what's motivating him. Just get
Yeah,
there.
I don't either. I'm fine. Because he stands up to the mob, and it's kind of cool.
What he could be doing is he could be putting all of his millions upon millions of dollars into policy meant to limit your quality of life and fight climate change that way.
Right, but he's not doing that.
Exactly. He's saying, nah, let's go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe Mars.
Right.
So he's a little bit more constructive that way.
He's doing something very, very cool.
Very
cool. Again, in the race to get into space and to take us to the moon or Mars or whatever, you make all kinds of discoveries along the way. That's what they did with the Apollo project, with Mercury and Apollo, Gemini, all of them got us to a place where we discovered things.
Right.
GPS, cell phone technology.
The fact there's a jet stream between here and Mars I didn't know about previously until I heard it on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Tang?
Morning.
What about Tang? I mean, where would we be without that? It's pretty exciting.
Where would we be
Where
without
would we be
Tang?
without Tang?
Right?
Yeah.
How many times have you said that?
Oh, many. Well, yeah, at least once.
We, the people, we hold these truths, etc.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Mm-hmm.
All men and women created by
you know the thing.
That is the guy who is 14 points ahead right now, supposedly. 14 points ahead of Donald Trump for the presidency of the United States of America. We hold these truths. You know the thing.
You know the thing.
Etc.
Don't make me say it.
Oh, man. All right. Got some tweets here. Stephen Hall tweets. Nancy Pelosi should be in the next "Help, I've fallen and I can't get up" commercial. From a damn Schiffler. Does being non-white give me some special superpower, or does it have to be combined with being a leftist loon?
Right.
Exactly. Yes, it does.
Sorry.
Scintillating duck. Keith Malinak keeps his sombrero in his collection next to the Kente cloth collection.
Yeah, I don't really break that one out too often though.
From Sherry, Keith, when you put on that sombrero and crunched down, you look just like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
I have heard that one before.
Okay. All right. Well, good.
Yeah.
You heard it again. You've heard it more than once now.
That's good.
So congratulations.
That's math. That's math there.
Pretty good at it, actually. Meanwhile, a teenage climate change activist, Greta Thunberg, wants to know how long the European Union will stand by without acknowledging police brutality and attacks on the media amid global unrest resulting from the death of George Floyd, a black man, of course, who died in Minneapolis. Thunberg, a 17-year-old from Sweden who became known for globetrotting to raise awareness for climate change, called on the EU to release a statement condemning police brutality. And now, why in the world would the EU say anything about the George Floyd situation? They're under no obligation to do that.
I don't know, but
no responsibility.
Greta's waiting. Better answer her.
Oh, no. Still, yeah, here she says, still waiting for the EU and individual democratic nations to officially condemn the police brutality and attacks on the free press escalating in the USA, Thunberg said in a tweet. For how long are we going to stand by, watch, and say nothing?
How dare you?
I mean, why would they say anything about it? Why would they?
What's more absurd? waiting on the EU to come out with a statement about something happening on another continent, or a 17-year-old girl demanding that the EU come out and say something about what's happening on another continent.
And people actually paying attention to it and saying, yeah, Greta wants to hear from you. So?
When's the last time she cracked open a textbook, just out of curiosity?
I wish I knew. Jeez.
Go to school.
This Thunberg thing is just so asinine. It all is. All of it, though. Can you imagine how many people have been killed in Europe that, the United States never takes a stand on? Just ordinary citizens going about their daily lives and something happens and they die. And it's a tragedy, but it's not something the entire world pays attention to with every single... You can't.
That's because we're the best.
Can't.
Yeah, like that black lady just said, ain't no country mo lit than us. And see, the rest of the world realizes that. And so they're always paying attention to us. They care about what we do and what we say.
I guess so.
That's what's happening.
Jeez, it's amazing. Bring back the McRib. I think the protester said it best when he said, bring back the McRib.
That should be a hashtag. Hashtag bring back the McRib.
That's the real burning issue that we need dealt with right now. Meanwhile, we got a weatherman in Australia who's laying down some facts of climate change, and maybe Greta Thunberg should be listening to this.
Thank you. Whoever sent this, thank you so much.
Queenslanders in parts of the southeast have woken to the coldest morning of the year so far, with temperatures plummeting to a frosty, minus 1.4 degrees Celsius. Back in 2012, Professor Pickering from the Griffith School of Environment made a scary prediction. According to the Australian newspaper at the time, the professor claimed that because of global warming caused by our current emissions, the Australian Alps would lose 60% of their snow cover by 2020. That's now. But according to The Age, even though we have just entered the first week of winter, last week's record-breaking cold snap delivered a healthy dump of snow to ski slopes, including Mount Buller. I'm afraid, yes, dear, yes, indeed. Melbourne has also endured its coldest day of the year and the chilliest start to winter in decades. Melbourne reached just 11.2 degrees on Monday, the coldest 1st of June since 1943. Wow. Record-breaking cold temperatures also hit Massachusetts on Monday, with lows plummeting to the 40s and high 30s. Anomalous cool air mass over the region, with temperatures just before sunrise in the mid to upper 30s outside the urban areas. That's about 15 to 20 degrees cooler than normal for June 1st, the National Weather Service said. In fact, the last time anybody saw such unseasonably cold morning low temperatures in Massachusetts was way back in 1967. When, spookily, the Bee Gees were busy writing this song.
That's good stuff, man.
What was the song?
I don't know.
But we couldn't play it because
exactly
we'd get tagged by YouTube or whatever.
Let's see. 1967, Bee Gees. What do you think it is?
Massachusetts mining disaster.
Oh!
Is that right?
It's probably not To Love Somebody. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Is there a song called Massachusetts? No, let's see. I don't know.
I think it's
you probably win. I think you won.
Okay.
I'm not gonna challenge you on this Bee Gees knowledge. That's definitely.
So where does Australia get their cold fronts? We get ours from Canada, but I'm pretty sure they don't get theirs from Canada.
India. That's why it's always so hot in India, because they're giving away all their cold down to Australia.
Right. Yeah.
It's the only thing that left in India is the hot air.
It's weird, isn't it?
That is strange.
Yeah.
It probably
just kind of hit me as I'm looking at this giant island in the middle of the Pacific.
Probably comes from Antarctica, right? Where does
maybe? Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it goes north from Antarctica into Australia. It's possible.
Climate of Australia. Yeah, that's what it is. Caused by cold air drifting.
All right,
north.
good. Okay, I'm glad we figured that out. 888-900-3393. Also, speaking of climate change, in New Jersey, they're pretty proud of their new climate change curriculum in public schools. I guess it's mandatory that they teach climate change now, and they got that going for them in New Jersey now.
Oh yeah, now they're bragging. Now they're on their brag tour. Watch this.
All right.
Congratulations, New Jersey.
Congratulations, New Jersey.
Congratulations, New Jersey.
Congratulations,
Thank you, New Jersey.
Congratulations, New Jersey.
Stupid.
There's that effect you like so much, the repeating the words over
hate
and
it
over.
so much.
Thank you, New Jersey.
All right, we got it.
Thank you.
First state in the nation.
Of the first day.
Teach the kids to read first.
To incorporate.
Climate change education.
Climate change education.
Across all K-12 academic standards.
Across all K-12 academic standards.
You already said it. We're empowering leaders of tomorrow. Me.
Take action to save our shorelines.
Action. Shorelines
to
and
save
forests.
our shorelines, forests, wildlife, and air.
Forest, wildlife,
This
air.
is so important because these students are going to be the leaders of tomorrow.
The future green economy and jobs of tomorrow will be created by adopting sustainable practices. Only a workforce that is climate literate will be prepared to serve.
Unreal.
They're going to serve.
Heaven help us, please. Please.
Effects of climate change won't wait.
The effects of climate change won't wait. The effects of climate change won't wait. The effects.
Neither will New Jersey students. Our planet is in trouble.
Our planet is in trouble.
We have the power to save it.
We have the power to save it.
You, we.
Thanks for being number one.
Thanks for being number one. Thanks for being number one. Number one.
I saw Governor Murphy in there. He was part of that. He's the guy who...
Did he ask, what's his face?
Cardinal Joe
By
Tobin.
what authority did you nullify the Bill of Rights?
I called up Cardinal Tobin, Cardinal Joe Tobin in Newark.
Okay, all right.
And somebody said we should, and we definitely should, send an Ask Cardinal Joe Tobin of Newark t-shirt to Cardinal Joe Tobin of Newark.
We should send a Cardinal Joe Tobin t-shirt to Cardinal Joe Tobin of Newark.
But first, we have to go to shop.blazemedia.com/Pat.
First, we have to go to shop.blazemedia.com/Pat.
And then we'll get that done.
And
send it off to Cardinal Tobin. Why is that an effect now?
I don't know.
Where we have to hear the same phrase repeated 8 times.
I hate it so much.
That video, how long was that video? I guarantee you. How long was it? Let's see. A minute 23? I bet it could have been 30 seconds. 30 seconds
easily.
if we just read it straight through.
Yes. But they had to emphasize it. But they had to emphasize it.
And it was nice to see that cameo from Al Gore.
Wasn't that great?
Right.
The students in New Jersey. What
kind of cars do they drive in New Jersey?
Oh, all electric.
Oh.
I'm sure. All
That's not
electric.
quite where I wanted him to go, but he did.
Mm-hmm.
I think, isn't any SUVs there at all?
Oh, not in New Jersey, no. But
so then there are no.
There are no SUVs in New Jersey. No SUVs in New Jersey.
That's because the vehicles
Texas has them all.
Yeah. It's too expensive to buy an SUV in New Jersey because all of your extra cash there goes to pay for crappy beach access. Amen.
That should just be part of our speech pattern now. We just continually
the
repeat
audience
each other.
is going to love this.
Oh, they're going to love this.
Yeah.
All right. While we were all distracted with riots and looting, recently the Dallas City Council met. And they unanimously approved the city's first climate action.
They unanimously approved the city's first climate action?
Unanimously approved.
Wow.
The city's first climate action, aimed at making Dallas more sustainable.
More sustainable?
And mitigating the effects of climate change. We could do that all day, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't.
Well,
but we could.
When
we
the
could.
show,
Just know we could.
When the show ends, you guaranteed we're going to be doing that off air.
This plan takes a balanced and common sense approach. There's no such thing when it comes to climate change.
I love balanced and common sense approaches.
The common sense approach would be to throw this out. That would be the common sense approach. One that sets ambitious goals, but also accounts for our economic needs. We all live in and share this environment. It's up to us to be good stewards. I don't disagree with that, but I think you and I have different opinions on what being a good steward involves. With more than 90 action items, the plan addresses 8 issues: energy efficient and climate resilient buildings, renewable and affordable energy, transportation, waste, water resources, green spaces, food, and clean air. It's great.
This is good.
Many of the plan's proposals focus on reducing greenhouse gases to the city on a path to reaching its boldest goal, carbon neutrality.
There it is. Yes.
By 2050.
2050.
A goal of reaching carbon neutrality by 2050 matches the Paris Climate Agreement. I don't know if you people are aware of this. The Paris Climate Agreement does nothing. It does nothing to stop climate change. They've admitted it. They've talked about it. Al Gore has talked about it. I got to find that.
Yeah. And don't be fooled. Texas may be a red state, but are there blue enclaves, and Dallas is one of them.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. But listen to what Gore said and admitted about the Paris Agreement.
Even if all 195 nations on 194 met their targets, it still wouldn't solve the problem.
That is correct. However, it sends a very powerful signal to business and industry and civil society and countries around the world.
That is correct. However, it sends a very powerful signal. It sends a very powerful signal, so we're going to spend trillions of dollars to send a very powerful signal.
Well, signals, I mean, they can be very powerful.
Yeah.
And so that's what the aim is here, is to be sending signals that are powerful.
Well, that is true, Keith. However, no, you already said it, so I guess I don't need to.
But I mean, in the spirit of
those commercials,
emphasizing the echo effect. Can I just say though that shame on Dallas? 30 years to be carbon neutral? That's not ambitious at all.
That's not.
I'm sorry. You're slacking. Why?
It should be by next year.
It should be by tomorrow.
Or tomorrow.
At 4 p.m. You know, I'll give you till close of business tomorrow.
Because in the meantime, we're killing lots of things, people, and stuff.
You don't want to be killing stuff.
No. I mean, things are going extinct by the millions.
Yeah.
Or is it the billions? I forget which.
Trillions?
It's either millions or billions or trillions or quadrillions. I forget.
So
we've already lost billions of species.
So time to update your little carbon neutral plan, City of Dallas. You've got until 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time tomorrow to be carbon neutral.
All right.
Make it happen.
And you've got till, I don't know, the end of this commercial to order Rough Greens VitaSmart because you want your dog to be healthy and happy, right? And the stuff you're feeding your dog, if it comes from, the dry food manufacturers, there's nothing alive in it. There's nothing that really is good for them, for your dog in it. It just fills them up. Empty calories. That's where Rough Greens VitaSmart comes in. Rough Greens isn't a dog food. It's a powder that supplements your dog's food. You sprinkle it on your food, your dog's food, and then they love this stuff. They'll eat it a lot quicker. They'll be a lot more eager to eat, and they'll be getting vitamins and minerals, digestive enzymes, probiotics, even omega oils and antioxidants that support healthy skin and coat and improve their digestion and just make them friskier, like they were when they were puppies. If you don't believe me, take the Rough Greens 14-day Jumpstart Challenge today for just $14.95. You'll see the difference in your dog in 14 days or less. If you want to see your dog thrive again, love their food for maybe the first time in their lives, go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's ruffgreens.com/blaze.
This is Pat Gray.
What about him? Oh, he's on right now.
Yeah, I don't know that.
He's on.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just kind of weird. Just
right. It's kind of left you hanging there, yeah.
And, it's like when people say to me, I love this. And so now everybody's going to say it. So maybe I should just keep it to myself.
No, let's have it.
No, because that's all they'll do now. Smart Alex.
Oh.
It's like when they say, hey, so I listened to your show today. Yeah, and so.
I mean,
and is there another thought, or
anything
you just
that stood out for you?
Is that's it? That's one of my least favorite things in life, right there. 888-900-3390. I mean, what's the point then?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to respond to that?
Well, thank you.
Well, but I don't know if they liked it or not.
That's true.
I don't know if they enjoyed it, so
You
I
could
can't say
apologize.
thank you.
I'm sorry.
But I don't know if they hated it, so what am I sorry about?
Maybe if you thought it was a bad show, you could say, I'm sorry. Of course, you never feel that.
No.
So you're welcome is the answer.
Yeah, but I don't know that they're thankful for it. So you're just stuck there. You're stuck in in limbo.
A neutral
yeah, it's just such a neutral thing to say. Yeah, I heard your show today.
Crickets start chirping.
Okay, so you actually have access to broadcast devices? Good.
What platform do you use?
I guess I could have that kind of inane conversation.
Which, by the way, if you're not a subscriber to Blaze TV, you really should be, because YouTube not friendly. With us.
Right.
So I would just encourage you, if you want the full show, to be a subscriber to Blaze TV.
Indeed. Go to blazetv.com/Pat.
Yeah, see what kind of offer we got up there. I have
subscribe. It's $10 off, I think.
Right now it is?
I think it's $10 off. Yeah, so please subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube page, too. That always helps us. It really does. And when you rate, and rate it 5 stars, 10 stars, whatever.
73,000 stars, I believe now.
73,000 stars. Okay.
Yep.
It takes a little while to rate it that high, but
a lot of scrolling.
Yes. Yes. All right, got some tweets here from CT. Everyone needs to find a way to use the phrase, "Where would we be without Tang?" into a conversation sometime today. I'm in favor of that.
Yes.
It's a good idea.
Oh, yes.
Soviet Nikita tweets, maybe instead of teaching climate change, New Jersey should teach kids how to think critically. No.
What are you doing? No, stop that.
What do you think? That's like a real education or something instead of propaganda? Come on now.
Right.
That's cute, though. It's cute. Caffeinated Texan tweets, I'm hating you right now. Right now.
Sorry.
Yeah, because that's going to be in your head for a while.
For a while.
From just trying to make sense. Is that what that is? Of 2020? Just trying to make sense of 2020.
Some people are trying to get some monies.
And some people are trying to make sense. I think you're probably more successful trying to get monies than trying to make sense. But if you keep repeating everything, you truly will fit 15 minutes of stuff into 2 hours. That's a good point, too. Thank you for that. And speaking of trying to fit things in, wow, this is some weird stuff. Chris Cuomo, Fredo.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I sent that to Rob yesterday, and he called me out on Twitter and said I'm a freak or a perv or something because I wanted to see naked Chris Cuomo. Don't judge me.
So his wife is doing, I think this is on purpose. As soon as I saw it, I thought, yeah, come on. You're doing this for, I don't know, a publicity stunt, trying to get some
weird
attention.
Man.
I think he's an attention whore. And so he's standing outside probably his bedroom window.
I don't know.
In the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Stark raving naked. Butt naked. And his wife is inside in the room in front of the windows doing a yoga routine.
What in
she's filming
world?
the yoga routine. Tell me that's by accident. No way. Stop it. That's just asinine. And there's Keith who loving it.
Rob's really gotten into this a little too much. I don't understand. I send him an image for the show, and the next thing you know, I'm a freak of nature.
You're part of the story, actually.
Please don't ever superimpose my face on Chris Cuomo's butt crack ever again.
It's strategically covered.
Right, like an Austin Powers move or something like that.
Yeah.
But this obviously was I assume it was live streamed, right? Where she's doing the yoga thing. So there's got to be more out there. No, I'm not interested, Rob. There's got to be more than just that shot. I think that's just what New York Post pulled. But, oh, my goodness. Chris Cuomo, man, you try too hard.
Dude, yeah. Come on now.
Stop.
Please. Who does that? Who stands outside their bedroom in their yard naked. Is that a thing for most people? Because I don't want to know about it if you do it. Okay, I don't want to just shh. Joined right now by our resident UFC expert, Hilary Kennedy. Hilary, welcome. Can we turn up our microphone?
Microphone up, please.
That'd be great if we could. So UFC 250 happened over the weekend. Is that right?
Yes. So in the interest of full disclosure, my in-laws were in town, so I had to watch everything after the fact.
Oh,
but
no.
What? They don't watch with you?
Well, it comes on so late. Like the main fights, do you really want to catch are on pretty late. But
yeah, it starts at about 8, right?
So the good stuff.
But the good stuff is
10, 11 o'clock. Yeah. But Amanda Nunes, the lioness, she is, I mean, really arguably the best female MMA fighter in the world. She fought a woman named Alicia Spencer, and it was a total beatdown, which was awesome.
I bet.
And she ended up taking home the most money of the night. She made $450,000 for winning this fight. And
she
there
bloody
was
her up pretty bad.
Oh heck yeah, there was some orbital fractures.
Oh no!
They think
her
that
eye was broken eye.
Felicia Spencer, yeah, and then Amanda Nunes. I think
and you like that?
Absolutely, you're getting your money's worth.
Absolutely.
They went the full 25 minutes. It went to decision, but
man.
But even Amanda Nunes, who is truly a scary tough cookie, they think she may have a broken tibia and fibula. So it was
nail.
From getting kicked, really?
Well worth the watch. But she is now the only one in the UFC, male or female, to hold and defend 2 world titles in 2 different weight classes. So it's pretty incredible. So I like that.
She's tough.
She is tough, and she's defeated the best Cyborg and Misha Tate and Ronda Rousey. And the biggest problem that she's having is there isn't anybody tough enough to fight her. Like they just don't
Get
have
in
enough
there. This is your chance.
Fight. It's true. Maybe I should start training now.
Right. I know you want to.
I do think it's cool that the one thing that I love about watching UFC is people get just as excited about the female fights as they do the male fights, which I think is really neat because like women's golf or women's basketball, there's just not that same energy. People don't get as fired up typically.
True. For the WNBA.
Right. So I think I think it's really cool that those fights get as many eyeballs and as much attention as the male fights.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's brutal though. It's hard
I
to
can't
watch.
Stand
for
to watch
me,
the chicks fight, man.
For me, it's difficult. Yeah, it's hard.
Oh, I think it's the most fun. Because it's something you don't see every day. I think that's what makes it so exciting because you're used to seeing guys pummel each other in the face, but women, that's a lot more interesting.
Honest question for you, and you may not know the answer to this. Do you know the percentage of the fan base of UFC that's female, such as yourself?
I don't know, but I would guess it's probably surprisingly high because I when I was working for the Dallas Stars, I learned that like 50% of their fan base was female, and I didn't think that would be the case. So I feel like it's probably higher than we think.
50% for the Dallas Stars?
Dana White says probably 45%.
Okay, so yeah.
That's amazing.
They're having some problems, though, with some of their male fighters, Conor McGregor, Jon Jones, Jorge Masvidal. Those are really like their top names, and they're all kind of at odds with Dana White right now because Conor McGregor just said he wanted to retire for the
third time, for the last time again.
Over 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 times in 4 years. Why does he keep doing this?
What's going on there?
Do you think?
I think part of it is for the attention. He likes for people to know he doesn't need the UFC. He's making money doing other things.
Has he lost again, or?
He won his last fight, but I think he is just kind of bored. Like he really needs a good matchup, and they haven't been giving him a lot of fights that he's interested in. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Well, they were supposed to. They were trying to do a matchup for July, but I think with the travel restrictions with Corona, they've had a hard time doing that. And then Jon Jones and Jorge Masvidal are upset about contract negotiations and how much they're getting paid because they're saying, we get paid for the fight, but we're not getting a cut of the pay-per-view or any of that like hot dogs that are being sold in the arena or, in some of these other sports, you're getting a cut of the whole pie and these fighters aren't. And so they're saying, Dana White, you can't say that it's the pandemic or that the economy's bad because you're buying a private island and you're making plenty of money. Right. Why aren't we getting
And whatever Jon Jones says now, I'm on board with since he's been walking around New Mexico cleaning up the streets during these protests.
That was
taking
awesome.
paint
Did you see him
cans
do
out
that?
of
I
kids'
did.
hands.
Yeah.
It is
That was awesome. You're not going to mess with a dude
Here's
like
the can of
Jon
paint.
Jones. Here, sir, take it. Take it. And they did. They gave it up pretty willingly.
Yeah.
Here you go. Hey, here. So is Jones? He got beat by didn't he get beat by the heavyweight champion whose name I can't remember right now? But he did lose, didn't he? Before or just after he came back from the drug problem?
Yes, but I believe he's won since then. And he said I'm going to take some time off, but just recently he said, I'm willing to relinquish my title and not come back if you're not going to pay me what I want to get paid.
I see.
And Dana White saying, well, he's asking for $30 million. And Jon Jones has said, no, I'm not asking for that much, but I'm asking for more because I'm worth it. I'm the absolute best that there is, and I deserve to have a piece of the whole pie. And he also said that he's trying to advocate for other fighters who are kind of coming up because he said, most of the time you're just so excited to be there and to be called up to fight in the UFC. And then you get there and you don't realize how little you're getting paid while you're, truly risking your life and your mental capacity.
Does this sound familiar? Matt Hamill is Jon Jones.
It's Cormier, Daniel Cormier,
and I think Daniel Cormier and Stipe Miocic. I think they're probably going to retire soon.
There's your computer.
Ad just started up. Thank
But
you.
Cormier and Miocic, they were great heavyweights, but I think they're going to be retiring, and so Dana White needs Jon Jones and Jorge Masvidal and Conor McGregor to hang in there because they're the biggest moneymakers now.
And you said something interesting to me. You said they get called up and they're excited to be at the UFC. Yeah. I'm sorry, is there like a minor league UFC? What do you mean, like called up from where? Like a street fight or where?
Well, they have kind of like their little minor league, that they fight in, and Bellator and things like that. But UFC is where you can make, a real name for yourself and make all the money. But it's kind of like American Idol, right? Like you have all these people that are just excited to be there, and then they get signed to that ironclad contract, and you can't get out of it for a while, and you're not really making the money you think you're going to be making. But you're just so happy that anyone's paying attention to you that you're willing to sign over whatever.
It seems to me like only the really top guys make a real lot of money in UFC.
And I think they've really got to be a showman too to maximize because like Stipe Miocic,
they got to get people interested in
he's
him.
An amazing fighter, but he's a very humble, kind of quiet guy. He wasn't a showy guy like Conor McGregor, and he just didn't get the same sort of endorsements and the same sort of press that someone like McGregor gets. So I think that's why Conor too continues to retire. But I hate that because you think about like when Michael Jordan did that, or there are people where they retire and then they come back and they do something else, and then they retire and they come back. It kind of waters down that big moment when they do retire because you're like, okay.
Yeah, kind of like Brett Favre. Got us all excited a million times. Okay, now this is the end of a great Hall of Fame career, and then he's back.
Right.
Yeah, with some crappier team. So we were talking a few minutes ago about Alicia Silverstone. I don't think we've mentioned this on the air yet, but she just made the news the other day because she says while in quarantine, she's been taking baths with her 9-year-old son. Oh, God. Now that seems a little weird and creepy to me. Is it just me? Is it? Keith, you
no, it's not just you, man.
As a mom, do you think? And I know your son is still what, 1.5?
He'll be 2 in October.
2,
but that's the creepiest thing I've
ever
heard.
Right? Isn't that creepy? A 9-year-old kid. You're taking a bath. I hope you're fully clothed.
But see, full swimsuit.
I don't think so.
She's just done some weird things over the years, though. Like she's made some odd parenting choices. She would chew up her son's food, spit it out, and then feed it to him.
Like a bird?
No. Like a bird. She did a whole YouTube video.
She chewed up her son's food and then fed it to him?
Spit it out and then fed it to him. Because I think it kind of sprung out of she didn't want to feed him processed baby food, so she would just chew up regular food.
Does she have a blender? Does she own a blender? Can we start a GoFundMe for a blender for Alicia Silverstone?
That is unbelievable.
So and she didn't believe in diapers, so she would just let her son crawl around bottomless.
No.
And then if she saw that something was about to happen, she'd just run
Scoop
and
up the
hold
baby.
him over the toilet, I guess.
No!
Oh, she must have had a million messes on the floor.
This poor kid.
Because she's very vegan and she's very into the natural lifestyle. And
oh my goodness!
But
that is bizarre.
The bathing, and it also, I mean, she may be one of those people too that breastfed for a really long time. Like I also think that's creepy when they get to be
I do too.
so old that it's like, you've got to be doing some psychological damage.
Like when they
there.
have teeth,
Right.
maybe.
What's
hello?
What's the rule of thumb if they can ask for it? They're too old for it.
Time to cut it off. But there was that woman in the UK that was still feeding like a 12-year-old boy or whatever. So people make some very odd parenting
They really
choices.
do. But she's made a lot of very odd. I mean, it's like time for CPS to show up at her door.
It seriously is.
Alicia, hello.
I wonder how much of that has affected her career in Hollywood. Because, I mean, I know she's
it's
still
pretty weird.
working,
I bet
but
it
she
has.
doesn't do the caliber of films she did back in the early
No, that's for sure.
2000s or late 90s, right?
And what's her kid's name?
Bear.
Blue
Oh,
Bear.
yeah,
something?
yeah.
Oh, Bear Blue.
Bear Blue.
Bear Blue. There's
Okay.
another thing.
All right, so
Okay.
I'm gonna start a Google News.
You're a little screwy when you're naming your kid Bear Blue.
Yeah, so I'm do like a news search, like a notification thing, because that kid's gonna be in the news one day.
Something weird.
No
He's
kidding.
gonna be in the news.
No
as
kidding.
a messed up kid.
up. Mm-hmm. All right. 888-900-3393. No, you got to get ready for your.
Yeah, but before you go, I think we need to ask you a question. Like, where in the world would we be without Tang? Am I right, Pat?
You're right. Yeah.
So
Watered down
that's the
orange
question
drink?
of the day.
you gotta mix that into conversations today.
Okay, well,
we
where
learned
would
earlier.
we be without Tang?
All right, cool.
She doesn't even. I mean,
Doesn't have a response. Does
doesn't
she?
have a response because you can't think of a world without Tang. You just can't
No.
think of it. You can't envision it.
Tang.
That's why.
Malto meal.
Yeah.
Do you like
malto meal?
Do you remember Malto meal? Astronaut ice cream. All the good stuff.
So, would you prefer Tang or orange juice?
Tang. Who doesn't want
Duh.
an orange flavor
Right?
watered down to the point that you're not quite sure if it's actually orange?
Powdered,
Okay.
a delicious powdered drink. You can't beat it. All right. When's the next UFC fight?
Coming
Is
up
he-
in July?
I think
July?
yeah.
Okay.
Because there are some, I'll be honest, I skip some that don't have fighters that I think are all that interesting. I try and, if I'm going to pay the money for pay-per-view, I want the big names.
Now, wait a
Well, yeah,
minute.
when you're paying $60 or $90 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want it to be pretty riveting.
Wait, there's some coming up on the 13th. What is that, Saturday? Do any of these names sound familiar? Jessica I,
Nope.
Cynthia Cavillo,
No.
Carl Roberson.
No.
You said Borg, right? Ray Borg?
No,
Didn't you mention his-
Cyborg.
No.
Oh, my
she's
bad.
she's a female fighter.
So these are all no names.
So
This is
that's
like the
what
minor
you're
These
saying.
are, these are the people that are
You're
agreeing for
skipping
the
this one.
smaller paycheck trying to come on
Gotcha.
up.
Yeah. All right.
My bad.
Thanks a lot,
Yeah,
Hillary.
thanks for having me in.
We'll be watching for you on
The 4-minute
4-minute buzz.
There you go.
Yes.
Which it
complete
feels
mind
like it's
blank.
more than 4 minutes, though, that you're out there, right?
Wow.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm saying you look at the clock and it's 4 after and you're still going. And I'm like, wait, I thought it was.
Tell me how you really feel about what I do here.
At Hilary Kennedy on Twitter, 1L, also HillaryKennedy.com.
Thank you.
Maybe not the smartest thing he's ever said.
What?
to somebody, but,
I'm just saying. I just happened to look up the other day and I'm like,
You're like,
it's
wow, this feels like 4 years.
what is this, a 5.5 minute buzz we're doing now?
All right. Thanks. We'll talk to you later. All right. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. What? What a moron.
Well, so?
So?
That's me.
You know, it seems like 4 hours when
what
you're doing
is
those
this, the
4 minutes.
4-hour
I don't know.
buzz?
How long are you up there?
I mean,
I can't.
take
I
camera
can't
2
take
already.
it. It's just so hard to get used to her saying that she loves the blood and guts of
My
MMA.
goodness,
isn't it?
I mean, I can't get over it every time.
Nobody nicer, nobody sweeter, and then you hear how much she loves the blood and guts of MMA. It's great. It's just such a
Hysterical.
cool dichotomy.
Yeah, I was with my grandmother recently, my 95-year-old Nana, and she wanted to hear the podcast that I do at the mic, and she wanted to hear a girl. She wanted to hear me interview a girl, and so I put Hillary's interview on there. And she's talking about, beating people's faces in and all this stuff. I was like, maybe a wrong selection, Nana. But, yes, that's a very interesting sport that she follows.
Yeah, it really is. Because it is brutal. And some of those fights are just absolute bloodbaths. I mean, there is blood all over the ring. It's all stained with blood. There's blood coming out their eyeballs. I mean, it's a nasty sport. It can be brutal. All right. Back in 2012, There was a guy who predicted that 2020, so 8 years in the future, just now, is when we'll really be in trouble. Yeah. Scientist Peter Turchin's work suggested that the next state of upheaval in the U.S., and this was written in 2012 again.
You ready for this?
Is set to hit in 2020 based on historical violence cycles.
Oh, no.
That's pretty interesting. So 8 years ago, and he was asked, so can you humor me and explain your cliodynamic theory of violence in layman's terms? Peter Turchin says, sure. Historical studies show that society goes through long-term cycles of violence. There's a buildup for roughly a century, then a period of violence or upheaval for 10 or 15 years.
Oh, goody!
Then people get tired of it, and the next generation goes back to being peaceful. It's then the grandchildren of that generation who never experienced the severity of the upheaval firsthand who are likely to start causing problems again. My theory suggests that it will be 2020 when the U.S. hits a new peak of violence. Is that... Wow.
Now, keep in mind, as someone pointed out yesterday on Twitter, this was without predicting a global pandemic to kind of pile on to this experience for us.
Yeah. Wow. What does the term violence include in regard to your theory?
Okay,
there are three distinct kinds of violence that I've included in my research. First, there is group on group, which in the case of modern day America would be riots, which we have.
Ta-da!
Then there's groups against individuals, which would be lynchings and that kind of thing. Lastly, there's individuals against groups, which are what we call rampage killings, which we also have going for us. Wow. So in your view, what causes these upheavals? There are too many political entrepreneurs who are trying to get power, and they get frustrated, which is how revolutions start. So this guy pretty accurately, on October 30th, 2012 is when this article came out. And 2020 is when we're going to hit all of this upheaval. And ta-da!
Yeah, he talks about groups trying to get attention and stuff. Antifa, anybody? Black Lives Matter?
Anyone? Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So we have tweeted that out. Look for it at Pat Unleashed if you would like to check out that 8-year-old story that predicted the violence we're experiencing now, which apparently we just have a good, 10 to 15 more years? I'm sorry.
9
3/4 to 14 3/4 more years to worry about?
That's nothing.
I mean, we're practically in the home stretch at this point.
Man, I hope it doesn't last like that.
Oh, it can't.
We'll all be dead by the end of it if we do.
Yeah, we'll all be UFC fighters at that point.
Yeah. 888-900-3393. And we're encouraging all these protesters to go out despite the COVID thing. Don't worry about COVID-19 anymore. Racism is much worse. It's a disease that's really sweeping the planet. So go ahead and go out there and get sick. Wait, what? So why was it not okay to protest the lockdowns? That was horrible.
Right, that was horrible.
These people were some of the worst people in the history of the world. But the people who are protesting this death in Minneapolis are fine. This is perfect and this is great and we encourage you to do it. Really?
I don't try to figure out the world, man. Yeah, we got a fun montage of the press way back a good, 3 weeks ago.
Totally consistent on protesting during COVID-19. And it went a little something
and a far more
like
serious
this.
scene. Watch these images. Really just an ugly, dangerous scene at the state capitol in Michigan.
Standing there. Pause it for a second. It's ugly and dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay, they're standing there. They're not looting. They're not breaking windows. They're not beating one another. But they're standing
there, man. Come on, man. You can't be standing there. What are they? What is that? Mass loitering?
Ugly and dangerous scene of people standing. All right, let's see it.
Scene. Watch these images. Really just an ugly, a dangerous scene at the state capitol in Michigan.
As we look at this extreme group of people.
Shut up, Joe.
Pictures and those clashes really show the chaos.
And you're out there with guns?
I don't want to call them rallies. They're not protests.
These quote-unquote protests. I don't even think that that's the right word.
What is the right word?
Because protests are supposed to be peaceful.
Loitering.
I'm not embarrassed to say that I was afraid.
It's not clear what they're demanding to infect other people, demanding to make other people sick.
It's dangerous.
Nobody's demanding
people can take this home with them and hurt their families and all the rest.
I'd like to ask them if they're willing to sign away their right to treatment if and when they get infected.
Who the hell do you think you are? I don't understand what is wrong with people. Stay at home.
1 month.
One month later.
I want to be clear in how I characterize this. This is
There's a fire behind him.
It is not generally speaking unruly.
That ain't a riot, what we're seeing right now in Minneapolis.
Excuse me, any reasonable person would say we shouldn't be destroying other people's property, but these are not reasonable times.
And please, show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
The beautiful thing is we're seeing citizens who are caring and concerned. They're hitting the streets.
Heartwarming to see so many people turn out peacefully.
You know, Brooke, I think this is a march, really. But as they're coming off, it's peaceful. They're saying peaceful protest.
Across the country.
That's embarrassing.
It's bringing people together, community with unity.
You're right, we're
People
together.
are risking COVID to explain to this country that we're fed up.
Huh. That's hard to believe.
Good grief, man.
Seriously, you wouldn't believe it unless you saw it. Well, you would because we see it every day. But I mean,
again,
if you came from a different planet.
How old were you back in, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago?
12. I was 12 years old 3 weeks ago. And now look at me. I'm not 12 anymore.
Need to shave.
Right?
I mean, that was fast.
Yeah, it went fast. Those years went by quickly.
Hormones in the food did a number on you.
Shut up! Okay?
Seriously. I mean, it is, this world is so mad.
I can't take it. I just can't take it.
It almost...
You know what is a little bit heartening?
What? Just tell me something.
Is the fact that this is either heartening or it means we are at the end. Rat. Remember I played the song or the commercial last week? Was it last week?
Yeah, Geico.
Yeah, the Geico commercial where these people are talking about their new home and how great it is.
Right.
And then they quickly say, we do have a rat problem.
Uh-huh.
Round and round starts playing. And Rat is playing in various parts of their home. Rat's Round and Round now, because of the commercial,
right,
is back in the top 20. Not just the top 40, it's in the top 20 now.
It's what? Is it 18? 18 on the charts? Is that right?
No, it peaked at number 12 this week.
What?
That is crazy.
So it's higher than it was? Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Oh, no. Back then, when its first time around, it peaked at 12.
Okay.
This week, you're right. It reached number 18.
Okay.
Following the success of the commercial for Geico. That is incredible. The Rat's Round and Round is back on the charts. And it's all thanks to Geico.
So I guess now Billboard must do YouTube views because it took into account 9 million YouTube views.
Oh, really?
So that's interesting how they're calculating the numbers now for Billboard.
Didn't know they could do that. Huh. Well, I mean, if Rat can get back into the top 20, maybe we can figure out our problems.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's one way to look at it.
I mean, I don't know that we can fix Alicia Silverstone's kids' problems.
That is.
But maybe some of the other ones we can figure out.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.